welcome to the BullCast podcast. I'm Katie Pickler, and with me today is Court Winsett.
Surprise!
And Cameron's back!
Double surprise.
Yay! And we've got a guest with us today. Now, this guest has been with us before, back in the early days of the podcast.
In our library.
Yes, back when we were in the library, we had to wait to make sure the mowers weren't outside mowing. And I mean, do y'all remember those days?
Oh, fondly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't look back at it fondly, but here we are.
Here we are.
I loved it.
So, Cam, since you're back, why don't you tell us about our special guest today?
Sure. Well, this is launching on National Nonprofit Day.
Woohoo!
And so with that said, we've talked about it before. We have a nonprofit, APEF, and our guest today is the Deputy Executive Director of APEF, Cassie Foote. Welcome to the show.
Okay, I have to ask, you're a deputy. Do you have a badge? Like a little
I should get a
fun?
badge.
You need a badge.
Can I
And you,
get a
you
badge?
flash it, put it on your belt.
Flash it like
Absolutely.
I'm a deputy.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to the show years later.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're excited to talk about some new initiatives from the foundation and National Nonprofit Day. But before we do that, we should get to the list. All right, today's list is very appropriate because our nonprofit is education-based. Today's list is TV and movie teachers who made an impact. That's so heartwarming. I think all teachers make an impact, except the mean ones. But that's for another day.
Even the mean ones,
They make an impact.
arguably make an impact.
Yeah, they've made an impact on me. All right, the first on our list is Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World.
Indeed.
The older, endearing neighbor to Corey and what was his brother's name?
Eric Matthews.
Eric, that's right. Thank you.
You'd have to Mr. Turner as well from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, that's true.
But Feeney was fantastic. I mean, he followed them elementary school, middle, high school, college. Like, he just stayed with his classmates or his students for forever.
And he just always had the sage advice, you know?
Yeah, he was great.
Feeney was the guy that was played by the actor that was prior to his role as Feeney. He played like the chief of staff on St. Elsewhere. Or y'all?
See, I've never seen that.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's who this guy is. He's the one that had the really touching, when the series finally closed out, he had the really touching moment with the students, the farewell, and it still gets played as a TikTok on and stuff now. Right, y'all. You're the ones that know who this guy is.
Mr. Feeney is incredible.
Yes.
Like
He has the mustache and the glasses, the big
Yes.
glasses.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yes, he gets involved in his kids' lives outside of the schoolroom. And yeah. Okay, the next one, Miss Frizzle, the Magic School Bus. If you do not know who Miss Frizzle is, like...
I do not know who Miss Frizzle is.
Oh.
I mean,
Cassie dressed as her for Halloween one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Last year, I was Miss Frizzle.
She's got red curly hair, and she always has these fun dresses on.
It's the cartoon.
And it's a cartoon, and she teaches kids about getting in the Magic School Bus. So let's learn about the body. And so you get in the Magic School Bus, and you shrink and go into the body.
Oh.
Or you go into space, or
The
you go
bus
into the
travels
ocean.
through the urethra.
Sounds terrifying. Oh my God.
Arguably, she wasn't a good teacher because she put those kids in a lot of harm.
She did. There's lots of danger.
I'm not
but,
sure I'd sign that permission slip.
it was a
You're
field
going
trip.
to shrink my child and then inject it into the human body. I don't think so.
It was a field trip every day. It was great.
I'm saying no.
She's a kooky, cool teacher.
Okay. The next one on the list is John Keating from Dead Poets Society.
Stand on the desk while you talk about this.
Yes, I love this movie. I love Mr. Keating. I love everything about it, except for every single parent in this movie is a bad person.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah. I mean, like...
This is the Oh Captain, My
so
Captain,
sad.
correct?
This is the Captain, My Captain. This is Carpe Diem. This is...
Robin Williams.
Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic movie, but for the fact that every adult in the movie, except for Robin Williams' character, every other adult is basically a terrible human being.
Trash.
It's one of the most upsetting movies that I have ever watched, where I got really, really upset by the way it ended, and yet I have watched it repeatedly, even though I know every time I see it, it's going to upset me. So there you go. Mr. Keating is a fantastic teacher. He inspires his boys. And moving on.
We've got Dewey Finn, School of Rock.
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
He's awesome.
Have y'all seen this movie?
Yes.
I love this movie.
It's great.
This was like ninth grade Cameron's favorite movie.
Yeah, because he was just that cool teacher coming in and inspiring the kids.
Instead of learning about math, we're going to have a rock band. I mean, how cool is that?
That's awesome.
And they play in a cool show and a cool venue at the end. It's very inspiring.
That's right. The importance of substitute teachers right there. Yeah.
That's right. Even though he lied his way to it and pretended to be someone else, we're going to let that slide.
I feel like one of you boys needs this next one.
Well, it's me, Mr. Miyagi. I don't know if he's so much a teacher as he is like a mentor. wax
I mean,
on.
he
wax off.
teaches. Yeah.
He's from the
teaches
Karate Kid.
karate.
Yeah, for those who haven't seen the movie or know of his name. But yeah, I guess he is a teacher after all. But again, sage advice he would give his young student. What's the kid's name? Help me out here. From Karate Kid. Help me.
Danielson.
Yeah, thank you.
Daniel,
you. Yes.
Danny
yes.
LaRusso.
That's it. Yes.
Danielson. Come on. I mean, guys.
It slipped my mind, okay?
Okay, and apparently there's a new Karate Kid Legends coming out. It's going to combine Danielson with the Kung Fu teacher from the more recent Karate Kid, Jackie Chan.
That's right. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Is Karate Kid going to start being like Mission Impossible and there's just like 100?
Honestly, I don't know. And I don't know how a Karate Kid is getting together with a Kung Fu teacher. You know, there was a big thing about the fact that the new Karate Kid that starred Will
Smith's son, Jaden.
He didn't actually learn karate. He learned kung fu because he was in China. And now they're having the Karate Kid, who literally did learn karate, Daniel LaRusso, join teams with the kung fu teacher from the new Karate Kid to do what? I don't know. Take over the world, I guess.
And there's your lesson in martial arts.
Erin Gruelle, Freedom Riders. We've had Erin on the show.
Mm-hmm.
She is absolutely inspiring. Her as a person.
The only real teacher on here.
Yeah.
I think all of these are probably based on it, but this is a real person, real.
Who was portrayed by Hilary Swank in the MTV film Freedom Riders.
Yep.
Yes. So Mr. Holland was a music teacher, and Mr. Holland wrote an opus. Moving on.
You got to give it a little more than that.
Come on. It's such a great
He
movie.
had these huge dreams of just becoming just successful in his mind. He had the American Opus, which he wrote, and he so desperately, wanted this, and then he got fired as a teacher. He got let go because, they needed to grow the sports program or whatever. Yeah, and then he was... should I give away the ending? I mean, it's very inspirational.
Inspirational,
I don't want to give away
shining
the
on
ending.
the arts, and so, yeah.
Yeah, and that
you need to watch it.
He was significant and successful at the end of the film. That's kind of the big thing.
I think the big thing with this was it was Richard Dreyfuss's opus. I mean, he was. I think he was nominated. I think he actually won his Best Actor Oscar for this movie. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
If not, I know he was nominated for it. So anyway, it was kind of like Oscar bait for Richard Dreyfuss. Is kind of the way I viewed the movie. But whatever.
All right, is that me with the last teacher?
Last one.
We got Professor McGonagall.
Woo!
Minerva McGonagall.
Love that girl.
Put some respect on her name.
Yes, ma'am.
Love her. Very serious. Very good with her students, but strict.
Very.
But also, she'll send you, a broom.
Yeah.
Quietly.
She was highly supportive of Harry. She was highly supportive of Gryffindor House in all. She was fair to the other houses, unlike some of the other professors who were heads of house. Overall, she was the shining example of what a good teacher should be. And then, of course, she was also very, very supportive of her headmaster, Albus Dumbledore. And when he was gone, she stepped in so she could also obviously administer a school as well. So she was just kind of like a fully well-rounded person and awesome. And I'll fight anybody who says otherwise.
And she defended that school to the end.
Absolutely.
I love the climax at the end of the movie when she commands these stone statues to guard Hogwarts.
If you haven't picked up from all of these context clues, this is Harry Potter.
Yes.
Did we not mention Harry Potter at all?
Apparently not.
No, it was not mentioned at all.
Not about the student, this list, okay? It's about the teachers.
Yeah. This is
Exactly.
She's one of the teachers from Harry Potter. There you
Okay, so I'm sure there's many other teachers that we have missed that are great from pop culture. I'm right now thinking of all the bad ones, like the Cameron Diaz Bad Teacher movie, things like that. But these are teachers that have taught everything from science to self-worth. But today we're talking to someone who's really helping real-life teachers bring financial literacy into the classrooms. They're real superheroes.
That's right. Cassie, again, it's so good to have you on the show.
Great to be back.
Let's start. I think this is a good starting point since it has been so long. And I'm sorry, my computer monitor is literally in front of us. There's like a wall splitting it. Let's start by introducing our listeners to you. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got into APEF.
Well, my name is Cassie. We covered that part already, obviously. Grew up with a lot of great teachers. Really loved learning. I self-proclaimed nerd. That was never a bad word for me. I've called myself that many times proudly. Growing up, though, I had a lot of great folks in my life who did teach me about money, about finance. But I saw a lot of my friends who didn't have this. I actually he's going to kill me, married someone who didn't have as much financial literacy learning when we got together. And we kind of had to learn together after we got married and kind of figured out finances and what they look like for us and our life together. And you really don't know how important it is until you don't have it, or you see someone who doesn't have it and hasn't really made those plans. So I personally know how important this is. I got here because I was working in education policy and different things like that. Never really spent a ton of time on the financial literacy piece. But when this opportunity came to work with APEF and I got into it, I really just came to understand how important this is for students, for adults, really. But so many adults don't have it that we really need to be teaching kids about this. And that's what we're really going to be talking about today.
Fantastic. How long have you been with APEF?
I have been with APEF since, I guess it was right at the beginning of 2020. Fun and interesting year. Starting a new job.
Pregnant.
I had a baby in April of 2020, which do not recommend.
Yeah.
But it was it was an interesting Q1 and 2 of a first job. But things have gotten a little smoother since then.
Yeah. As a reminder, APEF is a 501c3 nonprofit founded by David Pickler. In 2014, I was here. I helped kind of launch it, and it is pro-public education. And at the time, we were trying to do a little bit of everything. Boil the ocean is what David says, which, you can't make a lot of progress when you got a hand in everything. Mm-hmm. We had a national anthem sing along. We had like a voting initiative for young adults. It was just a little bit of everything. And about the time you came on board, we decided to really focus in with 2 pillars, and it is financial literacy and workforce development, which play hand in hand. And Cassie has helped us immensely with that, grow the foundation, get our name out there, do some cool programs that we're about to discuss.
Yeah, we, like you said, financial literacy and workforce development, really the 2 pillars. Those are things you need. It kind of doesn't matter what career you want to go into, right?
Yeah.
You can want to run a company. That's great. But you can also just want to, I have a brother, he delivers pizzas. He's managed a pizza joint. He needs financial literacy just as much as anyone else out there. And honestly, you want to get married and maybe you're not even working. I'm telling you, you're going to have a household budget. And you're going to have to know that stuff too. So
everybody needs it.
This is for absolutely everybody. Yeah, like a significant part of our mission is to increase financial literacy. And just money management, so fundamental that's our main focus is.
All right, so let's start with our brand new initiative, the launch of National K-12 Financial Standards. That was a beast, and it's finally out into the world.
Yes.
So kind of walk us through that. What sparked that? Why is it necessary? And, what did we kind of go through and who did we talk to make it a reality?
Yeah, so you talked about David, who started this, obviously in financial management. He for sure knows the importance of financial literacy. And he has always said that, we really need to start at the end, right? Like, what do kids need to know? What, as an adult, do you need to know? And we worked backward from that. We had an advisory committee that came together, really lined out what we would want everyone, ideally, in an ideal world, to understand about money and financial literacy. We laid that out. We worked with teachers and curriculum writers and kind of worked backwards to say, if we want to end here, where do we start? We don't start in high school. I mean, that's definitely an important piece. We've got a full course for high school students, but really you don't want to throw high school students into learning about investing when they're 17 years old, right? And not have a conversation before that. So we actually built out middle and elementary school. We know what students on every level need to understand about money, even if it's just really basic foundational stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's so important to start early because, like you said, if you start at like 17, it's like, hey, you have 1 year. Here's a crash course to get ready right before you go out into the world and get all the credit cards and get into all kinds of debt.
Exactly.
And that's, because I remember in high school taking a class and it was not even that whole class. Like, it was just like a couple of days was how to write a check and how to balance a checkbook and things like that. Now that I'm a new parent, your kids teach the parents because when they come home and they're learning different things and saying stuff. And so if they're learning in elementary school, this is what a bank account is. This is what that is. the parents are then like, oh, maybe I need to learn a little bit about this. So it's kind of helping the kids is then helping
Yeah.
parents who may be embarrassed to ask for help.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and you mentioned, well, you don't want to, here's a year to learn everything. For the most part, if you have a class, it's maybe a semester long. There's a lot that goes into money management, and it is tough to teach it even in just a semester. What's really eye-opening, and that a lot of the schools across the country, that it's not even required as part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
I mean, some have it as, if you want to take it as an elective, you can do that, but it's not required for graduation, and some schools don't even offer it as an elective. A lot of states are actually starting to change that. We've seen a lot in the past few years actually pass legislation that makes it a requirement. So we really wanted it to be easy for these states that are now starting to adopt these required courses to be able to say, oh, great, we've got this organization who's already put together the standards for each grade level or grade band. They've got a course that's aligned to this that we can just take and plug in and start right away and really take out a lot of the legwork for states.
Yeah. And as an aside, our foundation, we started a few years ago the nation's report card on financial literacy.
No, great segue,
I know,
great promo.
It's kind of a segue, and we're actually currently working on this year's. Again, it's every 2 years. But I think that project where we grade every state as well as Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., as far as what do they expect, what are their guidelines for students? Do they just have like one class and then they move on? Does it start in kindergarten? There's so many factors in it. And that was an eye-opener for David and our team. Like, whoa, kids really need financial literacy. They have got to be prepared. And so with that, what was the starting point? So David gave you the marching orders. We need these standards. We need this curriculum. Where did you go?
Right. Well, like I mentioned, we formed an advisory committee so we could really figure out what kids need to know. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a curriculum writer. I understand how to manage my own money, but I'm certainly not the person who needs to write a lesson about it. So we got teachers together who have experience in teaching financial literacy, who know how to write lessons that are the correct age level, that have depth of learning knowledge that I don't, and are able to embed all of those kinds of things into these lessons. And we've built out, we have got so many lessons available. Like we said, a full 9 through 12 course. The great thing about it is that you can use it as a full course, or you have a state that maybe doesn't require a full course, but you're an econ teacher that wants to take some of these lessons and embed them in what you're teaching. You can actually just select some, pull them in, because as much as we want a full course and we want a student to have just a full range of knowledge, at this point, a little bit's better than nothing. We can build on it. So it's really nice that we're able to actually take pieces of this if we need to. Then hopefully build up to a required full course for every student. Because like you said, parents oftentimes are learning along with the kids. When they went to school, it was even less likely that this was an option. So a lot of times kids are learning it, bringing it home, telling their parents about it. The parents are starting to learn it too, kids in elementary and middle school. There's some great apps and things out there that you can actually use for kids, where kids are actually able to buy like marginal shares of stock, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
You can actually assign tasks or chores and pay them basically like a direct paycheck, where they finish something, they log it, they get paid in the app, then they actually have access to that money to either save it or spend it or buy some shares of stocks. And that's really helped a lot of the parents watch them and go, oh, wait, this is the stock market? Like, okay, this doesn't seem as big and scary as it can. And so it's really great to watch students learn and then have their parents kind of learn alongside them.
That's fantastic. This curriculum and standards, it wasn't just put together by a couple of us. There was a whole army of educators behind it. So Cassie, I have a question. What is the fee for teachers and parents to download this curriculum?
It is 100% completely free for anyone who wants to use it.
No way. It's free. That's right. Where can people find it? What's the address, the web address?
So if you want to learn more generally about APEF, our main website is theapef.org. If you want to access our resources, you can go to apefeducates.org. and you'll find all of the resources there. There's a quick login where you can go. Everything's downloadable. It's all there via a Google Drive. So if there are ever any updates to it, any changes, any additions, they'll all be there automatically. And there also is access to our animated video series.
Great segue.
Yeah.
Animated
Look at that.
videos.
It's like she's a pro. Just segueing left and right. It's just amazing. So you mentioned an animated series. Mm-hmm. What animated series is this?
So we talked a little bit about the importance of foundation and foundational knowledge for students. I don't know if you all know many, 7 or 8-year-olds, but I have one at home, and he's not like chomping at the bit to learn about money necessarily. He likes it. He thinks it's interesting. He brought home a $1 million bill recently and thought it was real. And
Oh, wow.
I explained to him that, in fact, he was not a millionaire. It was paper and not the kind that they make money out of. So what we decided to do was try to figure out a way to make learning more fun and interesting for our elementary students. And we developed an animated series. It's Miles and Captain Cashflow.
Nice.
Miles is a young boy who wants to learn more about money, and somehow all of the financial knowledge of Earth is being drained, and his parents can't answer his questions. People are starting to panic. We don't know what's going on. And he finds a magical coin that transports him to the planet of Kashara, where he meets our hero, Captain Cashflow, who needs his help and to help restore financial knowledge to Kashara and ultimately the universe. So they go on a lot of adventures together that are all based on our standards and aligned to our lessons, so they can be shown in the classroom or at home. We've got lots of activities that go along with them and discussion questions and vocab lists that go with them, and you can learn a lot, but hopefully be entertained at the same time.
I do have a question that's kind of a side tangent question. Just, does anybody in this room other than me get reminded of when they hear Captain Cashflow, the cartoon character Captain Caveman? Anyone?
Well, I will now. Yeah.
I have never heard of Captain Cave.
I don't know
I was
Captain
one.
Caveman.
That my biggest concern was you were going to be like, yeah, who is that? But Captain Caveman
No,
was
Captain Underpants.
Captain
No.
Caveman was definitely a cartoon character when I was a kid. It had the same alliteration. So every time I hear Captain Cashflow, I'm like, Captain Cashflow, which Captain Caveman was his shout of his power. Or
battle
whatever.
cry.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
exactly.
about that, but did you Schoolhouse Rock?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what, like, I still, as an adult, like, conjunction junction, what's your function? I'm just a
on
bill.
Capitol Hill.
Yeah, like those were those cartoons that taught you lessons. And so that's still, we can rattle that off, and we watch those in elementary school. So it's brilliant going to the elementary kids with animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm learning here is I need some kind of tagline or jingle
Yes.
in the elementary
Music
animated
remember,
series.
yeah.
Music helps things stick, and so do taglines, because I'll never forget Captain Caveman, and I will also never forget I'm Just a Bill. As a matter of fact, I have a Funko Pop doll that's the Bill from
No way.
I'm Just a Bill. I love
fun.
that. Is probably my favorite Schoolhouse Rock cartoon. I mean, these things, the Schoolhouse Rock cartoons have actually spanned all of our lifetimes and childhoods, because they
Okay.
were around when I was a kid, back when Saturday morning cartoons were the only time you could get cartoons. Anyway, that's something that you struggle against now with getting this out there. Is there used to be a concentrated time when you could put a cartoon on and you could pretty much be guaranteed that all the kids in America were going to see it,
Yeah.
because Saturday morning cartoons.
Schoolhouse Rock started in 1973.
That is the year that I was alive. So
73 to 85, then had revived 93 to 96, and then now has had some additional episodes produced in 09.
So 93 to 96 would have been when y'all were exposed
Yeah.
to it.
It just won't die. It keeps being
It's
resurrected.
great. But I mean, that's how they learned that people are learning. So let's go back to
Captain Cashflow!
Captain Cashflow.
So, Cassie, we are releasing all the episodes weren't released at once. We're releasing them every couple weeks, right? Leading into
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
for the
We the prologue and then episodes 1 through 4 are all live. By the time this actually airs, we'll probably have episode 5 up there as well. But there are going to be 14 episodes. They get a little more in depth for the second half of the series. First half may be appropriate for kindergarten through second grade. As far as the concepts go, as we get into episode 8 and beyond, grades 3 through 5 They're a little more aimed at the older elementary kids. But really, if a kid has not had any exposure to financial literacy, these are really good for any age in there.
And again, it's free.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
and you can find it at apefeducates.org.
Yeah. And YouTube, like and subscribe.
That's right. Like and subscribe. I feel like a true podcaster when you say that. Like and
That's
subscribe. Yeah, so we've talked about the curricula, the standards, and the animated series, which are all housed on that website that we gave. So it's very exciting. We're doubling down on financial education, making it totally free of charge, just getting the word out and trying to prepare the next generation for life.
That's right.
We're also trying to sort of expand the whole reach of our financial literacy reach. I mean, like I know that I've been assigned a few projects that could potentially take it to entirely new audiences. So we're not just going to stop. There's going to be more in the future, right?
Yep, lots of exciting things to come. So you got to stay tuned.
Locked tight.
This has been great information from Cassie. The power of nonprofit. We are coming to you on National Nonprofit Day. We have done multiple episodes on this, but just to give you a kind of a refresher of any type of nonprofit. As a reminder, not everything out there is a nonprofit. There's a lot of times that are trying to put profit in their pockets, and they are not with the best of intentions, and they give nonprofits a bad rep. Mm-hmm. Now, I've personally worked for a nonprofit prior. We tell a lot of our clients, us here at Pickler Companies, we give back in other different nonprofits, not just APEF. And that's because it's important to give back to different communities, different organizations that really make a difference. Now, to Cam's earlier point, one of the things that our company and what I've seen a lot of companies do back when I was working for Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, that was JDRF, that's now Breakthrough T1D. I don't know.
They completely changed their name?
It has a whole new name now.
Whoa.
But it's funny, like they've got
I'm
a new
gonna look
name.
this up.
They got a new name, and at the bottom it says formerly JDRF. So it just makes me think of Prince. Sorry.
The artist formerly
known as Prince. The nonprofit formerly, Breakthrough T1D, the organization formerly known as JDRF. And that's what it says. Breakthrough T1D Walk, formerly JDRF One Walk, is what on their website. What a lot of companies will do is they will have specific nonprofits that they support. They may say, we're only geared towards women's organizations or education or the arts. And what that kind of helps you do, especially from Cam's perspective, he is in charge of our branding for Pickler Companies. He wants to make sure that we're aligning and what we support is reflecting our brand and what we believe in. The joke that we had is that you're going to support, children's groups, things like that, but you're not going to support, Strippers Anonymous or something.
Which
that would be great for our brand, wouldn't it?
Listen,
Well, he's getting serious.
Court. Don't give me those eyes, Court. But you're right.
It was a
Everybody.
very helpful organization for me. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Oh, the past life you lived. But yeah, everybody and their mama will come out and they want money from a business. And so you really have to filter it out. And we've decided, it's not totally exclusive, but it's the arts and education. That is our philanthropy, probably 90% of it.
Well, and that's because, again, everybody will want something from you. And so if you give to everybody, then you can only give a little bit to everybody. And it's better to be more impactful, pick what you want to be. And you can tell different nonprofits, hey, maybe I can't give money to you this year, but maybe I could help next year. I think as a person, like your individual household, you can run it like a business in that sense of, I'm not going to try and help anybody and everybody, because I know with school age kids, it's constantly different things you've got going on. Between my cousins that are in sorority, that they're having to send letters out of their nonprofit that they've got, and then constantly trying to support, there goes your budget. And so, and especially as you get closer to Christmas time, but now even like fast food restaurants, things like that, round up for this nonprofit, round up. Now I'm always a big proponent of that. I'm like, I'll give you the extra couple of cents or whatever. I always do that. Or the add $1 for this, things like that.
Taco Bell loves rounding up. Just so you know, do y'all go to Taco Bell?
100%.
I don't.
It's obnoxious every time in the drive-thru. Would you like a roundup? No.
I know McDonald's does, but
McDonald House, Ronald McDonald House is probably the original sort of, what do you do with your change? Here, we've got a bucket right outside our fast food drive-thru window. Put it here.
Which is smart.
And
that's...
I like that better. I feel like the roundup, I'm always like, is this really just a tax break for the business? Like, if I donate money, are they going to take the money, donate it, and then use it as potentially in their...
I've never thought of that.
Maybe I'm just, I don't know, a pessimist. I don't know.
We're not going to go on a big tangent about nonprofits because that's a whole episode of its own. This is really about awareness. It's Nonprofit Day. We've heard about a wonderful nonprofit that is really working on financial literacy. And so what I would say is, as you're celebrating Nonprofit Day, think about the ones that you're supporting and figure out how you want to allocate your budget appropriately. Maybe learn a little bit of financial literacy from APEF on how to budget your donations.
Whoa, Katie. That was nice.
Had a little bullseye within the episode itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody knows I do the wrap up, but Cassie, before I do the wrap up, I'm terrible about including other people's links and dots and so forth. So if you wanna tell everybody again where they can find out more information for your projects, then please feel free.
No problem. So our main site is theapef.org.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you'd like to check out our resources and videos, you can go to apefeducates.org.
Fantastic. And also people can follow your YouTube to catch more adventures of Miles and Captain Cashflow.
Okay, which one of you is going to dress up as Captain Cashflow for Halloween this year?
You know it's not going to be either of us because Cameron and I don't dress up. At youtube.com/@APEFED or APEFED. APEFED. Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen.
Would you look at the time?
There's the closing bell. You have made it to the end of yet another episode of the BullCast podcast. If you liked what you heard and you'd like to hear more, please feel free to go to your favorite subscription service and sign up to have our podcast beamed directly to your device every single Thursday at noon. If you'd like to find out more about Cortland, Katie, Cameron, or Nicole, please feel free to go to our website. That website is bullcastpodcast.com. We've got pictures up there. We've got bios. We've got a place where you can suggest a topic or drop a comment or, suggest a guest you'd like to have us have on. But hey, I mentioned pictures. We do have an Instagram feed. That Instagram handle is at BullCast Podcast. And we also have an X handle, which is also at BullCast Podcast. And rounding out the social media, we have a Facebook page, which is BullCast the Podcast. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I am wont to do every single episode, let me remind you that Katie, Cameron, Nicole, and Cortland all work for a place called Pickler Wealth Advisors. And if you'd like to find out even more about all of us, or find out about what we do, find out about what we could do for you, find out about our amazing team, and find out about our boss, David Pickler, please feel free to go to that website. That website is picklerwealthadvisors.com.
That's advisors with an O.
Not an E.
Not an E, ladies and gentlemen. We have given you everything you need to go forth and find information on financial literacy and pass it on to your children. So for now, I'm Court.
I'm Katie.
I'm Cam.
I'm Cassie.
And we're done.